Okay, so welcome to this meditation series. I think there's 8 sessions. I'll have to remember. Okay, so this rest and restoration meditation group for the next few sessions, couple of months, we're going to be looking at the mind-body integration in a little bit more of a deliberate way. So we're going to be exploring some somatic psychotherapeutic tools, and each week there'll be a home practice. So I'm drawing on the work of Manuela Mishgrids, who's a trauma focused therapist, and she talks about the 7 body wisdom principles, and you may not agree with all of these things, so as always, taking what's useful to you and leaving to the side what isn't. But her work has been focused around these 7 principles and how we can support ourselves around it. So number 1, the body responds to external environment with constriction, blockage, muscle tension, or unbalance, and acts in unhealthy habits when stressed, psychologically or emotionally threatened or misused. That the body remembers. It remembers implicitly feelings, sensations, and memories when vulnerable, emotional, triggered, or touched. The body changes all the time. It's flexible and moldable. The body's experience is transient and does not last. Even pain will subside. 5, the body is capable of repair and healing at any time. The body's wisdom comes forth when attended to or related to with kindness, curiosity, and patience. Finally, the body is the most important place for healing and transformation. So for many years, we've focused as therapists on what's going on in our prefrontal cortex, and now there's big movement to be incorporating our body and its experience, and this is the work that we're doing within the Rest and Restore meditation class. So the invitation is to explore and be present. Be curious about your body as a source of information. So we're learning to listen to its language and to pay attention to what's going on. We are turning our attention inward. We're being mindful and we're staying inward. So each time the mind wanders off, we're coming back to the body. So the mind's going shopping lists, more interesting things, this is dull, this is boring. And we're going, okay, yeah, you're that's where you're going, but come back each time to the breath and to the body. So we're engaging with your quiet experience. So an invitation to notice, do you get bored? Do you switch off? Do you get irritated? Do you become self-aggressive or dismissive? So noticing that wandering off and that you're bored and don't want to be here and want to be engaging in something else. Often it's this dopamine sensation seeking reward process that we get lost in. So we're taking the time to notice. We're creating a space to examine some of these beliefs, such as quiet is dangerous. If I am too inward, I need to jump out. I can be overwhelmed, not seen. So giving the space to see some of these questions you might have around yourself and your experiences. Why is it so challenging to be with the quiet of ourselves and to sit still? Why do we need to be busy and sensation seeking, and what are we running away from? And exploring any beliefs that may come up that the body is not a safe place, and inquire into the deeper meaning of it. Taking the time to be in your body and exploring other options of having the space to be with ourselves as we are, and the freedom that this can give us if we can just be quiet and still and move into a sense of safety within this body that's housed our experiences. So the next slides are around the home practice, which I'll introduce at the end. So without further ado, setting yourself up in a position that is comfortable for you. So that could be lying down, and we're learning to listen and pay attention to ourselves. And nothing is static. So what you experienced today, you may not have experienced before. What you may not experience again. So meeting yourself as you are, whole. And taking a moment to arrive and to notice the points of contact that you're making with the earth. Settling in and having a sense of having taken your seat. And an invitation to take an internal weather report. Perhaps look at your body as a barometer, or maybe as if you're taking a selfie, snapshots of your inner experience. How are you today? Perhaps finding a word to label the emotion or the feeling. Content, sad, happy, bored, irritable, tired, well rested. And then dropping into the felt sensation of that within your body. Where is it? What is it? Does it have a shape, a colour, a texture, a movement, sensation? As we drop into this present moment awareness of being with ourselves as we are, remembering to take care of your needs, to follow my guidance only if it feels right for you. There's no right or wrong way of doing these practices. We're learning to pay attention and notice, and to welcome our experiences just as they are. No need to change anything. And that this in itself can be healing. We're not striving or searching for a particular experience, or noticing if we are. You may feel rested, you may not. You may feel relaxed, you may not. Letting go of striving, doing, moving into being. So we learn to listen, pay attention, and learn our body's language. The wisdom we can find here, the little prompts that it gives us to take care of ourselves, to listen to the cues that it sends us within our days. The hunger, the tiredness, the fatigue. Things that we push away to push on and achieve and do. We practice paying attention We're going to explore our breath. So an invitation to bring your awareness to your in-breath. Can you notice the air at the top of the lip before it gets pulled into the nostrils? The sensation of the air touching the nostrils. The air as it gets pulled up, as if through a tunnel. And then it turns and gets pulled down into the lungs, past the throat. Where can you notice the breath no longer? And your awareness perhaps moves to the sensation of your lungs moving in and out and up and down. Can you notice the subtle sensation of the movement of the rib cage to the back, to the sides? Perhaps noticing the shoulders lifting ever so slightly with each in-breath. And if you find it helpful, you can count from 1 to 10. Each in-breath followed by a number. Perhaps counting down rather than up, being playful. And each time the mind wanders, returning your awareness back to your in-breath and congratulating yourself for noticing. This is the key to the practices, and this is the key to the laying of neural pathways that allow us to respond differently to stress outside of the practice. So we work out that grey matter, increasing its density. We're simply bringing our awareness to our breath, noticing when our mind has wandered over and over again. And now an invitation to bring your awareness to your out breath. Perhaps noticing the very subtle movement of the diaphragm and the waist as the muscles squeeze the air up through the lungs, up the throat, pushed all the way to the top, the nostrils and out again. Where does the air become visible? The sounds, the textures and shapes and sensations of your out breath. And again, an invitation to count if that's helpful. Your mind will wander. Most people make it to 3 before they have to start again. That's noticing if you're striving to win, there's no prize. The key to these practices is the noticing. The mind has wandered and where it goes, and bringing it back again and again. Simply by being here, you've taken an active step in taking care of your own health and well-being. Can that be enough? Noticing the sensations of your out-breath, the movements of the body, checking in with your posture from time to time. Now an invitation to observe the spaces in between the in-breath and the out-breath, where you're neither breathing in nor breathing out. The pause. That brief moment where you're neither breathing in nor breathing out. Like taking a photograph, almost. Blink and you miss it. What sensations, if any, can you notice here? As we narrow and widen the lens of our attention, working out that grey matter, paying attention and then letting go, paying attention to that pause and then letting go. Being an impartial witness to yourself. And the observations that you make around your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. Now an invitation to bring your awareness to the full flow of your breath as you breathe in and pause, breathe out and pause. Counting if that's helpful, from 1 to 10, or 10 to 1. Simply observing the experience of your breath. Now an invitation to bring your awareness to your experience of the breath within the body. So having a sense of breathing within the whole space of your body. And as we sit here in stillness, you may notice some sensations that are drawing your attention, niggles, itches, discomforts. Knowing that you have a few options as to how to respond to these experiences. Firstly, you can move. You can weave the movements into your practice, slowing them down, noticing how the body knows what to do to take care of itself. Scratch that itch, readjust, close, bringing deliberate and mindful awareness to the movements. They can be a part of our meditation, they don't need to be separate. And then resting in stillness, having made those movements and observing what's here. Relief, perhaps disappointment to change things. And dropping into that felt experience. What your body feels to this response. So we sit here and breathe in the space of our bodies, with these sensations arising and distracting. We judge them, wish them to be different, perhaps wish that we felt like this all of the time. Noticing, being with your felt and direct experience. That you can also bring your awareness to the sensations, exploring them with a magnifying glass or a paintbrush, or colouring them in, observing where the sensations begin and where they end. You don't need to go right into the centre, you can rest around the edges, the shapes and colours and textures of the sensation. Do they move? Are they constant? Are they on the surface of the skin, or are they deep within? This is information. And then the third option is that we can guide the breath here, breathing around the sensation, into the sensation, with a soft breath, like fogging up a window, or a hard, short, sharp burst of breath, sort of like blowing out a candle. Perhaps the way that we might try and light a fire. Being playful and curious and interested in your experience. This moment. This moment. As we sit and observe the breath within our body and navigate the sensations that arise here. This information that often gets pushed to the side and ignored. Breathing. In our bodies. And then narrowing your awareness back to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Observing what's most present for you. I'm going to read a passage from Rilke, Letters to a Young Poet. Because truly being here is so much. Because everything here apparently needs us. This fleeting world, which in some strange way keeps calling to us. Us, the most fleeting of all. Once for each thing, just once, no more. And we too, just once, and never again. But to have been this once, completely, even if only once. To have been one with the earth seems beyond undoing. So moving and stretching in whatever way your body is asking. Let's move into taking tea together. Try a different angle. And this week, I'm offering you nettle tea, which is a high iron content. What my body feels like it needs today. Observing the sounds, colours, textures. Yes, the simple activity of taking tea that acts as an invitation to bring mindful moments into our days. And the invitation now is to move into a period of reflection and journaling, or simply sitting with your what comes up for you. So the first prompt is, what came up for you within today's practice? And then the second prompt for today is, what do you need? What do you need to do today to take care of your well-being? Do you need to find time to rest? Do you need connection? Movement? And then to close the journaling, I want you to think about one action that you can take to take care of that well-being. One practical action that you can take. So I'm just going to open up the live space for sharing of the experience of the practice. And for those of you who are practicing at home, you are more than welcome to reach out if anything came up for you that you'd like to explore a little bit more. Okay, so let's move into home practice for this week. So I wove this in a little bit with the practice today. So it's taking a snapshot, taking a body snapshot. So this exercise is designed to establish how you are today in this present moment. So for people who've been doing these practices for a while with me, I'll have used the barometer, you'll have perhaps used the gingerbread man as a way of pinpointing what's going on for you, or that weather report. So it's basically taking an inventory from which you can compare yourself to how you're doing throughout the day. So this snapshot is an inner directed moment of awareness, noticing yourself right now. Knowing your inner snapshot can make you realize when you are off and when to come back to balance. You will be more inclined to notice when you're getting triggered, tired, overwhelmed, or emotionally flooded. So it can be almost like taking a snapshot at a boring point of the day where things feel maybe a bit dull. And then if there are stressful moments within the day, or there are exciting moments within the day, you can take a snapshot again. And I suppose we're in this culture of taking selfies and things, and this is a picture I found on my phone, on my camera of my daughter, who'd taken a snapshot of herself. So we like to see how we're doing and what we're looking like. So it's that idea. I mean, you could even take a selfie of yourself and write a note under the photograph, or write a note of how you're feeling in that moment, because sometimes how we look isn't what we're feeling inside, and that can be interesting information. So you take a body snap to know where you're at and embrace it kindly. If you're having a vulnerable or a bad day, that's okay. Allowing yourself to know how it feels in your body and owning it. You are a dynamic process. Take the somatic snapshot and send a kind inner note to yourself. Be kind, stay open, and get curious. If you're using WhatsApp or iMessage, you can even send these messages to yourself with these photos. And if you don't want to use technology, you can write it down somewhere. So this is what you do. How is my body feeling today? What is the sensation of this feeling, emotion in my body right now? If this area, this body part, could speak right now, what would it say? So let's close with that as a practice. So as you are, I just want you to take a snapshot of yourself. How is your body feeling today in this moment? What, where, how of the sensation? Where is it? Is it most vivid? And if this area, the body, could speak right now, what would it say? So there you go. If you need anything, you can email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have to do with your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.